has definitely changed in the last 18 to 20 months. I always tell people that 18, 20 months ago, it was like we were all standing on the same floor of the Empire State Building at a cocktail party. Well, now we're all still on the same floor, except we've lost 25 floors. But we're all still looking eyeball to eyeball. People today are watching a lot of CNN and a lot of Fox News, and they're getting a lot of information about our market that is not true. It's the national market that they're getting their information about. So they come to Moore County and they think that the same rules apply. Buyers have become very challenging. They feel like, you know what a buyer's biggest fear is in today's market? So help me, their number one fear is that they're going to overpay for the property they go under contract for. We had a situation this morning with a broker who works for me. She's working with a buyer right now, and understanding how the buyer works with the buyer agent is very, very important for you as a seller. The buyer found a home and wants to make an offer. The home is listed for $185,000. It's 1,800 square feet. At first blush, I looked at it and I thought it was priced well. And a good broker, a good buyer broker, should tell their client, if there's a home on the market that's priced well, we need to tell them. And we also need to tell them if it's priced too high. And that's what we're going to start to talk about. But here's what the buyer did. With all the portals of information on the internet, you can go on and get information that is based on valuation models nationally and come up with values that are not applicable to Moore County. So where did he go? He went to the Moore County Tax Department and he found out that the square footage, according to the tax records in Moore County, was 1,640 square feet. Nobody ever uses the tax records to determine square footage. But he took it as gospel. So he went back and he did his math. He came back with an email this morning and said, I want to offer $156,000 based on the square footage. Okay, so we had to very politely say, that's great, thank you for all the thought that you put into this email. But guess what? There's a floor plan. This home is 1,840 square feet. So his numbers were based on false information. The single most important thing that the seller can do in this market is price their home right and make sure that their listing agents can defend the price. If a broker cannot defend the price, then you're going to wind up having a home that sits on the market for a long time, and they gradually start dropping the price. I'm going to tell you two stories, and I'm probably not going to stick to this outline, but I want to talk. Two things that have happened in the last month. We had a client come to visit us, and he wanted to buy a home. He identified 3 homes in a gated community. They ranged in price from $434 to $469. They were all brick homes. They were all on a golf course. They were all comparable in the eyes of what an appraiser would look at for value. And they were all between 7 and 11 years old. So we were comparing apples with apples. So here's a question that he asked me as the buyer. He said, what is the percentage of the sold price to the list price in Moore County? And my answer was, bad question. That's the wrong question to ask to get value. The correct question is, what is the square foot price of the home if they're all comparable? Well, the home that was priced at $435 was priced at $146 a square foot. The homes that were priced in the 460s and 450s were priced at $166 and $172 a square. Now that will get your attention. The list price is the least important information that a buyer needs, but that's not what TV tells them. And that's what sellers have to get ahead of the curve on. In other words, we have to be able to put your house out there and advertise it as the most compelling value in that area. How do you determine what's most compelling? Square footage is one way. Looking at the homes in the price range of these three specific homes, we would do what's called a market absorption rate, which would take all the homes between $400,000 and $500,000 in that area, find out how many homes sold in the last, let's say, 6 months. We'll compare it to how many homes in that price range are on the market, and what we can find out is how many homes a month are selling. In this particular gated community, the market absorption rate was 24 months. So that means there's a 2-year supply of inventory. Well, here's the moral of the story. We listed the home that was $435,000. When we listed it, we had a lot of work to do to get the seller to price it so it was compelling. The home went under contract in 59 days, and it's closing in 2 weeks. The other 2 homes that did not get the offer, one has been on the market 262 days, and the other home about 108. They're heartbroken. But the market is what's dictating the prices today. It's not the realtor. If you ask a real estate professional, what is my home worth? Well, it's not about what we think it's worth, it's about what the market data says. When a home goes on the market, another home down the street could sell in 3 weeks. It could affect the value of the home that we just listed. And we have to be able to inform the seller of that so they're aware. Unless there's an oil well under the house, I can promise you nobody is paying full price. Yes, sir.
A question for you. You refer